This is the podcast helping to create, provide, and expand
winners in life.
Positively life-changing experiences through music for all.
Go for it!
This is the podcast that encourages everyone to
break ranks.
Welcome to Break Ranks, a Music for All podcast and the official podcast of the Bands of America Marching Band Championships. I'm Dan Potter, a BOA stadium announcer and media personality. This time, a 2023 Grand National Champion is crowned.
The Avon High School Marching Band of Avon, Indiana.
We'll talk with Avon's head band director, Matt Harloff.
I want to try to savor as much as I can
on what really makes for a successful season.
I've had such a good time. I don't want this to end.
And what it's meant to him to watch his daughter on the drum majors podium this year.
Man, you can't put into words how much that has meant.
Plus, the high school assistant principal, who's also a band parent and a past band member, all at the same high school.
This activity really cultivates the things that we're looking for.
One more time for 2023, let's break ranks.
And in first place, and our 2023 Bands of America Grand National Champion,
Lucas Oil Stadium, Saturday night, November 11th. The 2023 Bands of America season culminating in a night of magical performances and a Grand National Championship for the Avon, Indiana Marching Black and Gold.
National Champion Trophy presented by CEO Jeremy L. Earnhardt and Vice Chairman David Golden and Chairman of the Board Doug Polari. First place with a score of 97.475. The Avon High School Marching Band of Avon, Indiana.
Avon took both the general effect and visual captions to top their crosstown rivals, Carmel High School, by just 0.2 of a point. Texas Hebron High School won the music caption and came in third overall. You know, in the wild, I don't think eagles and orioles would ever share a nest, but we know from the past that they do peacefully coexist in Avon because this will be the fourth time the coveted BOA Eagle Trophy has visited the nest of the Avon Orioles. There were 91 bands from 18 states in Grand National prelims. Of those who advanced to the semifinals, Bourbon County High School from Kentucky was the Class 1A national champ. Pennsylvania's Kiski area takes home the 2A national title. Blue Springs of Missouri is this year's national 3A champion, and Carmel is the national champion in Class 4A. Congratulations to all of our 2023 Bands of America regional, super regional, and Grand National champions. Matt Harloff has been with the Avon High School Band program for quite a while. Matt spent the first 26 years there as an assistant band director before becoming head director this year. He's also the brass caption head for Carolina Crown, a world-class drum corps international member corps. I caught up with Matt 6 days after Avon's spectacular finals performance, and he told me the whole week had been a blur.
Yeah, but you try to enjoy it, you know, try to savor all of it. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how many times these opportunities come around, right?
Yeah. And, you know, I'm towards the end of my career, so, you know, whether it's, you know, the summer or, you know, early on 10 to 15 years ago and stuff, I always try to make sure it's like, you know what, I want to try to savor as much as I can. You know, a lot of awesome people reach out and say some stuff, and, you know, win or lose, really, you know, it's always the same, you know, like, well, the Crown Brass line sounded great, you know, and maybe we didn't win that year. It didn't matter, you know, so it's just, you appreciate all of that regardless of the placements. And I always try to tell myself to make sure you take time and enjoy that.
Have you been telling that to your students as well this week?
Yeah, I think we'll keep reminding them and all that, even though we're on to the next. You know, we're already going on, you know.
Guessing you've got a Christmas concert coming up for one thing.
Well, there's that. There's the color guard. There's the drum line. We do have some Christmas concert stuff going on. Yep. So it's on to the next thing.
How have the students reacted? What's it been like for them this week at Avon?
Obviously, there's joy, but I think there would be joy anyway. I will tell you, Dan, our number one priority, and I say this in the summer too, the number one goal is that we don't want the season to end. And it's like that family vacation where it's like, I don't want I don't want to go home. I don't want to, you know, I've had such a good time. I don't want this to end. And that's That's the goal. Now the seasons are always really long, and you kind of you're ready to do something else, but you don't want to leave your friends. And if we can do that, then you have a successful season. So, man, it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, at the end of our fall break, before our state finals even. I was like, we've already won because this has been such a special year, and we love the show. We love each other. It's just one of those special times with kids that just loved being around each other. It was awesome. And so it's like we already won. So the joy I think was, always going to be there, and they come into the band room and they just love being with each other. And, the directors and staff, we love working together. And, it's been that kind of atmosphere, which has been awesome.
I mean, as you pointed out a moment ago, you don't know how much longer you're going to, be in this career, when you're going to retire. Your colleague at Avon, Dean Westman, pointed out on social media that you were the assistant band director there for 26 years, I believe. And when Jay Webb retired, you became head band director, this being your first full year as head band director, right?
Yeah, actually, Jay retired, and Kevin Wellborn was the
Yeah,
director for a year, and
that's right.
then he took a really cool opportunity back to Alabama. So then, yes, this is my first year in that position. So
Does it feel, I don't know, is there any special significance, you think, to winning Grand Nationals in your first year as head director?
I actually think that it's probably a bigger deal for Jay Webb.
Mm.
And here's and I do appreciate you saying that. I really do. And it is awesome regardless, But for me, I look at what Jay Webb built. Like he started building a program, and it finally warranted an assistant band director. And that was me.
Huh.
So in 1996.
Wow.
And then and I will also say this, not just Jay, but the community, the town of Avon and all that. I think it's more significant for all of that because they built the culture. The school continues to grow. It's incredible how, like I know you've been to Avon High School. If you would come back, you would be blown away by the construction. Us and Brownsburg, by the way, our whole county is just exploding. And so there's certainly that has a lot to do with it as well. But I'll get back to Jay. I mean, he built the program so strong, the culture within how we work, the culture within the parents, and everything, that it has survived COVID. It has survived 3 directors in 3 different years. And it has ultimately survived him retiring, and it's still strong. And so as much as I appreciate, the thoughts and all that, I look at it as a huge compliment to Jay and how he built the program with such a strong foundation that it could survive all of these crazy things and be one of the elite programs in the country.
It wasn't always that way. When was the first year that Avon came to BOA, and do you recall what their first score was?
I'm sure it was in the 60s.
Yeah.
The score, not the year. I think Jay took the band to BOA the year before I got there. So I want to say 95.
Okay.
I remember in 96 being in the band room, waiting to see if we made semifinals in 96. And we were not chosen for semifinals. So I do remember that. And then 1997 was our first time we made semifinals, and then we just kind of built it from there. So
there are band directors now, I think, that would, if they had a program in the same nascent state of development as Avon was in 95, 96, I think there are a lot of band directors who would look at BOA and go, I don't think we're ready for BOA. But really, that's the best time to take your band to BOA, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot with that. You have the evaluators. Alfred Watkins was a huge part of our development.
Now, let me interrupt for just a second. Many of you know the name Alfred Watkins, but for those who don't, Alfred is the retired director of the Lassiter High School Band from the Atlanta area, a renowned adjudicator, and a Music for All Hall of Fame inductee.
And and it was just his tape commentary. He was vital in helping us, and we would remember his tapes throughout the entire winter.
That's
We would
incredible.
remember that. Yeah. BOA, that opportunity has certainly helped us grow. And for us competitively, it's like, hey, you know what? Our goal is to make semifinals, or our goal is to be, the first time we made semifinals, it was we were 22nd or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then the next year, it's like, okay, well, let's see if we can get in the top 20. So you have the benchmarks for you, and you have wins for you from a competitive standpoint. But from an educational standpoint, which is the nucleus of the Bands of America company, the the thoughts from not only evaluators but also other band directors, watching bands like Lassiter, Lawrence Central, and Carmel, when they started making it. Of course, Spring, Westfield, Broken Arrow, all of those incredible bands. Watching them, I will never forget. It was an indie regional back at the RCA Dome, and we did not make indie regional finals. And a good friend of mine that I went to college with, we marched star together. His name was Jamie Day. We stayed to watch finals, and it was Bellbrook, if you remember them.
Oh yeah.
They came on. They were one of the first bands on in finals. They came on, and we looked at each other. We're going, we're not that. And they were just so impressive, and they influenced us. Like, we have to be more like that, and work to aspire to perform like, bands like, whether it's Lassiter or how Bellbrook looked. All of that stuff influenced us and helped us build the program. Yeah.
I tell you, one of the most special moments for me Saturday night was interviewing you and your daughter Shaylin, one of the Avon drum majors, on the sideline right after the performance. Emotions were running high. We didn't get a chance to talk very long, but so I wanted to expand on that. What has it meant to you to have now 2 kids through your band program? Your son Tyson graduated. Now Shaylin is in the program as drum major. What has that meant to you, Matt?
It's man, you can't put into words how much that has meant. And I will tell you, both Susie and I, as band parents we wanted to make our kids do marching band at least once. And if they didn't want to do it, we didn't want to push it. We didn't want to force it. But obviously they both did, probably because they're just around it all the time. So they wanted to be a part of it and stuff. So, but I will be honest when I talk about Shaylin, and I tried when she was a sophomore. She tried out. No, let me get this right. I think when she was a freshman, she tried out to be a drum major when she would be a sophomore. She wasn't chosen, but those couple years of her auditioning for drum major, I'm not gonna lie, I tried to talk her out of it.
Oh.
When I would drive to school, I was like, Shaylin, are you sure you want to be in this role? I mean, it's, there's some tough times, that you have as a drum major, as drum majors that we all know. It's like, it's a thankless job. It's, you do all of the work, and, you don't get a lot of thank yous, and you're only noticed if something bad happens. And if the metronome doesn't work, it's your fault, even though it's really not your fault, And so I said, Shaylin, do you really want to do this? And I tried to talk her out of it, and she persisted. She really wanted to do that. And so I'm so proud of her that it came from her. It didn't come from me. And I love that part of it. And I know if there's any band directors who have kids in their programs, they'll know what I'm talking about. When they earn their stripes, when they did it themselves, and it has nothing to do with me, that makes it even more special. And then her and Jasmine was the other drum major on side 2. They both were just the whole drum major team was just incredible to work with. They had so much fun with each other. They were best friends. And yeah, it was hard for me sometimes, and I did. There were times where I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this rep or this run through, and I'm going to stop being a band director. I'm not going to worry about trying to be perfect, and I'm going to be a dad, and I'm going to watch her. And so I did that on Saturday night too. I did that with both Susie and I did that with Tyson. He was a trumpet soloist his senior year.
Right.
So during his solo, I had to watch it. I was like, and I got to be a dad right here.
Yeah.
You know, and then at the end of the show, when I knew we were good, and I was that last, 30 seconds or whatever, I was like, all right, we're good. This is great. I stopped. I just watched her, and I wanted to make sure that I remembered. I took that moment, and I would remember her finishing the show. So, yeah.
I think you probably know this. I'm a connoisseur of salutes, and I have very, very strong opinions about drum major salutes. For one, they should probably never go more than 4 counts. But I watched Shaylin's salute prior to their finals performance, and that's one of the most fierce drum major, attitude-filled drum major salutes I have ever seen. She just emoted right through that thing, and it was incredible. How's Tyson doing? What's he up to?
Oh, Tyson's doing great. He works at this company in Indianapolis, Marquis.
Oh, yeah, the audiovisual company.
Yep. He got his degree from Full Sail University in Orlando. It was during COVID, and luckily they made sure that his school of film and editing had to come back and finish the degree. And so Tyson graduated on time. And he works at Marquis now. He loves it. He does a lot of traveling. He was at San Diego, I think a week ago, heading to New York and Miami and just traveling the country. And he loves traveling. He loves it. He helped us out a lot too. He came on staff, and anytime he had a night off, I was like, Tyson, he marched crown, so he knows what he's doing. It's like, Tyson, third trumpets, go get him, and helping him out and stuff. So he was there too, and we got to enjoy that as a whole family. So that was great.
Congratulations, Matt, and to
Thanks.
the entire Avon Marching Black and Gold family. And we look forward to seeing what Avon has to offer in 2024.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Thank you so much for having me.
Avon Marching Black and Gold head director, Matt Harloff. Throughout this BOA competitive season, Break Ranks has shared several unique perspectives on the Bands of America experience, what it is like to do BOA for students, staff, parents, fans. Well, at Grand Nationals, I met someone who combines several of those perspectives, and she really gave me a well-rounded opinion on what BOA championships mean to a performer, to a parent, and to a school administrator.
I think we're as nervous as they are right before they go on, and we're just so proud of them. My name's Jana Bromley. I'm the assistant principal at Beechwood High School in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. My daughter's a sophomore. She's in the color guard. She plays French horn in the concert band.
What years were you in the Beechwood band?
Graduated in 1997, so leading up to that, as a drum major for my final 2 years and played saxophone before that. It was awesome. We had a great program, great band. I actually wrote up today with my former band director who wrote the drill for our band this year. And
would that be Brian Bosco Brown?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. And he was an awesome teacher. Just great, had a great impact on not just me and my family, but so many other families as a teacher. And very cool that he continues to have such a great impact on so many families, even now.
Full disclosure, Bosco Brown is one of my oldest friends and associates in this activity. Love him to death. And I can only imagine how fun he was as a band director. What kind of memories do you have?
Oh, gosh. Well, he wrote the drill as well as, teaching us. And so just great memories of him, being frustrated early in the season, just trying to put all the pieces together and that kind of thing. But also some really special moments musically, putting together some really special pieces and just having that connection you have with the kids that you're performing with and the teacher that kind of helped put it all together.
As an administrator, this is the really unique part for me because, I've interviewed band parents who were in the band before. But as an assistant principal, you bring a unique perspective to a discussion about marching band. What is the overall value of it to the student long term?
Well, at Beechwood High School, we have what we call the Beechwood Way. And it's something that we push with our students and our staff. It's just ingrained in what we do day to day. And it's kind of two prongs. We want our students to be learners and we want our students to be leaders. And within that, we talk about being fearless and we talk about being resilient. and we talk about pursuing excellence. All the things that we're trying to instill in our students and cultivate with our students gets cultivated through the activity of band. And so when we're looking for, all those great things, that's something that they practice every day out on that blacktop in July, just really being resilient and coming out to this Indianapolis Colts Stadium, this huge stadium. And I remember walking through those doors, as a teenager and just, having my breath taken away by it. And they are fearless. They come out on the field and they just had an incredible performance. And so so this activity really cultivates the things that we're looking for, captivating in our students.
That's the activity, and I think you've addressed some of this already, but I know what I'd really like, Jana, is for a band director who's listening to this right now, who's never brought his band to a BOA regional or super regional or grand nationals, and who knows that they're going to face pushback on the expense from their administration. Give them some ammunition that they can use to tell their administration this is an investment that's worth it.
Well, I think there's tremendous value in the build up to it, obviously, but the experience itself is really special too. Being here in this really incredible performance space is something that I definitely remember, from my time doing it, and I'm so thrilled that my daughter is going to have those same memories as well. I think the experience of having that performance, but also the friendships that you build. Some of my lifelong friends are people that I shared this field with 25 years ago, and in fact there's two parents currently that I was in high school band with myself, so the three of us are cheering on our kids as alumni, and it's such an exciting thing that they get to experience this too. Well, I was also a band director for 19 years.
Whoa. Why?
Yeah, I did mostly middle school band, some high school band. I love the beginners. I love the satisfaction of getting them started and teaching them how to put it together for the first time, and that progress from 6th to 8th.
To me, the two most critical things for a high school band program to be successful, the two most critical things, middle school directors, you've got to have great middle school directors, and you got to have a great concert band program.
Absolutely agree. And having that well-rounded philosophy to your program is really important. So our directors at Beechwood do an awesome job. They have a private lesson program. They have a number of instructors that come in during the week for private instruction. They rehearse really well. They're just phenomenal teachers, and you see it on the field. Visually it's beautiful, but musically it's so strong, and you can't get that without a strong concert program. So that's something I've always been really passionate about, and something that is important to our directors too.
Jana Bromley is a band parent, band alum, and assistant principal at Beechwood High School in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. This is the final break ranks of the 2023 BOA marching band season, but we will be back throughout the winter and spring with occasional reports on Music for All's many other programs. Until then, for the entire Music for All team, I'm Dan Potter. Go for it. Break ranks.